Number 2. Yes.
I haven't been up on the budget, I haven't been here since you've been doing it, did they get the 2%?
Yes.
Over a period over a 3-year period, for I think 5 years.
Thank you for the question.
I hate to ask a stupid question, I gotta get the whole budget.
No,
So-
exactly what we expected.
Asking for the 3rd time. Do we have any other further questions or comments on the proposed contract for fire district number 2? Finally, one more.
And then they get 2%.
Little delay.
Thank you, Sarah, for your action.
I do? Jen?
Please, I know you're gonna work so damn hard to get this.
I just don't want to see my face in there.
Okay. Don't worry, no one's watching.
Still.
It's just us, we have to see it live. I don't know which is worse.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, so,
I gotta wait for her.
well, you didn't close that
I
one.
need to close the, having asked it 3 times and not getting any questions, I will close the public hearing for fire department number 2.
No, we're switching them up.
Oh,
No override. Okay. Town of Hampton notice of public hearing. Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of Hampton on October 21st, 2021 at 7:20 PM at the offices of the town of Hampton, 2629 State Route 22A, Hampton, New York, regarding a proposed local law to override the tax levy limit established in general municipal law, section 3-C. Following the public hearing, the town board will hold the regular town board meeting and may adopt the above local law. Dated October 1st, 2021. By order of the town board, town of Hampton, New York, Rebecca S. Jones, RMC, town clerk.
Have you heard the announcement of the public hearing? If you have any questions on the tax cap override, comments?
I should have some. I haven't been up on that. Feel like a jerk asking.
Having asked second time, I'll ask if there are any comments or questions on the tax cap override for the
I got a
2000.
question, I got a question.
Oh, my word.
Now,
We'll see if you have 100% of the questions in the public hearing tonight.
okay, we're going up 8%, right?
We need to review this later, but that's potentially it. Yes.
Okay, of course, that won't affect this year's taxes, but next year, the new
2022.
assessment will make quite a difference.
No, that kicks in kicks in 2022.
It's next budget in January.
That's the one we're working on now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that went up like 12% basically.
So here's the impact. Based on the assessed value, last year, our tax rate was like 492. This year, with the change we have, it's 440.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Substantial drop.
Actually, it's just like the school tax. A lot of people's bill will be less than they were last year. Except for the ones that didn't get their building permits and built without, then they're gonna pay to the no. God bless them.
If you went through, I went through a lot of the assessments. I just picked some I knew were potentially out of whack, either lower or higher. And as a general rule, there were some that went from $150,000 to $300,000 to $400,000 because they were so out of whack. I mean, the last reassessment we did was 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And people added farms, they added additions to their place. Some people built houses and never built.
Never got building permits, right? Bingo.
But anyone's assessment with less than 50% is going to be
But I see a good raise went up a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
Now, when do they kick in? Next year?
Next year's 5 years, so 5 years starts kicking in, and then 5 years after that.
What is it, like a 25 or 50% for five, and then,
50 for the first 5 and 50 or 25 for the second 5.
and then it's full after that?
That's what, but they are still paying out full special district taxes.
Oh, yeah. So they don't pay taxes this year, do they pay the taxes of 50%?
50%, right?
So that'll be for a lot extra there. Compared to this empty lot they were paying.
Yep. So I've asked 2 times, I need to ask one more time, and then for the comments or questions on the public hearing for the tax cap override. Having called 3 times, answered questions, I will now close this public hearing at
7:26.
7:26. I'm ready.
Notice of public hearing on the preliminary budget. Notice is hereby given that the preliminary budget of the town of Hampton, Washington County, New York for the fiscal year of 2022 has been compiled and filed in the office of the town clerk, where it is available for inspection during normal business hours. Further notice is hereby given that the town board will meet and review said preliminary budget and hold a public hearing on October 21st, 2021 at 7:25 PM at the Hampton Town Hall, 2629 State Route 22A, Hampton, New York, and that at such hearing, any person may be heard in favor or against the items therein contained. Pursuant to section 108 of the town law, the proposed salaries of the town officers are supervisor, $2,100, town justice, $6,642, town councilman for a total of $2,520, assessor $10,000, town clerk $8,432, tax collector $1,964. Please take notice that the exemption report for the amount of assessed value of the town exempt from taxation is available at the town hall in accordance with real property tax law section 495. Immediately following the public hearing, the town board will hold its regular monthly town board meeting and consider the preliminary budget. Rebecca S. Jones, RMC, Hampton Town Clerk, dated October 1st, 2021.
Thank you, Rebecca. You've read the notice of the public hearing. Are there any questions or comments on the budget? I'm not gonna look this way. Yes,
Okay, now. We're changing from a $14,000 a year job to a whatever, what we paying now,
52.
52. But he was probably making 40-something working, right?
With his overtime, I think we calculated it's about 44.
So, well. That'll be only 8, but now, does he still go to get the benefits as a worker?
He gets all benefits as an employee.
As he is now, that's what I mean,
Right.
Correct.
yeah. So that'll, we're likely don't get all the
Correct.
benefits.
Correct.
So that'll be about a push probably then, when it comes down to it.
Well, the other adjustment we had to make is that going from 2.5 to 2. We couldn't ask him to do his job and someone else's job too, so we did budget for a half-time person
Yeah,
to make up. So we got, when someone's on vacation, we have 2 people there.
but we don't have to pay insurance or stuff on that person.
Right, just the FICA and
No
What else?
medical insurance.
Right.
So I'll ask a second time. Are there any further comments or questions on the budget for the town board? Well, ask for time, are there any comments or questions on the budget for the town board? Having asked 3 times, received the comments, I will now close this public hearing at 7:31. Okay. Next, we will open the regular meeting for October. Please rise to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In case of fire or other emergency, there's 3 exits room, there, and there. In case of emergency, please go to your section. Clear the buildings, get as far away from the building as possible, so the rescue squads, emergency squads can do their job as required. Thank you. All right. Memorial, we have no memorials, I don't believe. Thoughts for those who maybe undergoing tests for some diseases, serious disease, so please give a thought to that, those people. On the meeting minutes were set out for both the October 30th special hearing, special meeting, and also the regular monthly hearing,
September 16th, September 30th.
September 16th, September, yeah.
I'll make a resolution that we
Resolution
accept the
second.
minutes as sent.
I'll second it.
Second by Mike. Any comments, corrections? All in favor? Now, permits and subdivisions. Tim,
Nope, Bruce.
Bruce. See, I called it in. What is it?
You?
The subdivision, Bruce Jones. Property location is 2238 County Route 18, Whitehall. Tax map number 72, block 1, block 1. This property is Milestone Golf Club, north side of County Route 18. And Ag Meadow Woods on the south side of County Route 18. Description of the site, boundaries of the resident and 0.7 acres on County Route 18. Described character is farmland / woods. Proposed development plan is golf course and farmhouse to be separated onto 1D. Size of the subdivision is that 0.10?
0.7
0.7.
clubhouse here,
On that side.
right?
And this is what you took.
Yeah, yes. They get everything on this side of the road, plus this 0.7 acres on this side, so. And this survey,
So this is one with that.
that's right, that's right, yeah.
Development cluster. I don't know what golf course plan.
Just still gonna win this thing spot.
Largest lot is 0.7 acres. 0.7 acres. Any previous town determination made regarding the property? Acquisition to water stream utilities, none. Not anticipated impact on services, traffic, sewer, water, drainage, etc., none. Describe anticipated impacts on adjoining property, none. Is there any other approvals required? Federal, state, county health, environmental conservation, sanitation, Washington County Department of Works, town highway department, no. Please complete and sign the appropriate environmental assessment when attached to the submission. It was signed by Bruce Jones on 21 October 2021. Any other questions for him as you have reviewed the property on the Mylar? So now I come to the fun part. There's a short environmental assessment form. Project sponsor information, Bruce Jones, County Road 18, 2338. Subdivision of house, 0.7 acres from existing deed. Has his contact information. Address is 2314 County Road 18. Actually, that's Hampton. That's your mailing address.
Mailing address.
0.7 acres. Proposed action will only involve the legislative adoption of plan, the local law, ordinance, administrative regulation. No. Proposed action require permit approval of funding from any government agency. No. 0.7 acres is the site of the proposed action. There is no acreage because it's disturbed. Total acreage. And any contiguous properties owned or controlled by applicant or project sponsor. That's still 0.7. Check all uses, rural, agricultural, and residential. Proposed action. Is this a permitted use under the zoning regulation? NA. Consistent with the Apple comprehensive plan, that's NA. Proposed action consistent with predominant character, existing built or natural landscape, yes. Is the site of the proposed action located in or does it join a state listed critical environmental area? No. Will the proposed action result in a substantial increase in traffic above present levels? No. Are public transportation services available at or near the site of proposed action? No. Are any pedestrian accommodations or bicycle routes available on or near the site of proposed action? No. Does proposed action meet or exceed the state energy requirements? No. Would the proposed action connect to an existing public-private water supply? No. Will the proposed action connect to the existing wastewater facilities or the existing septic? Does this project site contain a substantial biggest sewer or building archaeological site, the district which is listed on the National State Register of Historic Places? That has been determined by the Commissioner of the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, Development, listing on State Register of Historic Places? No. Is the project site or any portion located in or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive or archaeological site in New York State Historic Preservation Office Archaeological Site Inventory? No. Does any portion of said proposed action lands adjoining the action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by federal, state, or local agency? No. The proposed action physically alter or encroach into any existing wetland or water body? No. Identify the typical habitats that occur on or on the private site, agricultural and grasslands. Does the site of the proposed action contain any species of animal or associated habitats listed by the state or federal government as threatened or endangered? No. Is the project site located in the 100-year floodplain? No. Proposed action creates stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources? No. Will stormwater discharge is flowing adjacent properties? No. Will stormwater discharge be directed to establish conveyance systems, runoff, or storm drain? No. Proposed action include construction or other activities resulting in pumping of water or liquids? No. Has the site of proposed action adjoining property been the location of an active or proposed solid waste management facility? No. Has the site of proposed action or adjoining property been subject to remediation, ongoing or completed for waste, hazardous waste? No. Signed by Bruce Jones. Part 2 of the environmental assessment form. Proposed action create a material conflict with adopted land use or plan or zoning regulations? No. Proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use land? No. Proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No. Proposed action have an impact on environmental characteristics cause the establishment of a critical area? No. Proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, parking, and walkway? No. Proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No. Proposed action impact existing private public water supplies? No. public-private wastewater treatment utilities. No. Proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources. No. Proposed action result in adverse change in natural resources, e.g. wetland, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna. No. Proposed action result in increase in potential erosion, flooding, drainage problems. No. Proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources and human health. No. For every question, part 2 is in moderate or large impact. There was none. 2 boxes that could evaluate, check this box to determine based on the information analysis above and supporting documentation. The proposed action may result in one or more potentially larger significant adverse impacts and environmental impact. That's not the correct box. Check this box to determine based on the information analysis above and any supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental outcomes. That is the correct box. The answer, Town of Hampton is lead agency. 1021, right? Bring the name, that's me. I've signed that, so I'll make a motion to adopt the
Resolution that we adopted.
motion by Kenny on adopting the secret, second by Andrea. Any further comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I will now entertain a resolution to approve the subdivision as laid out. Resolution by Kenny. I'll second it. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Bruce.
Bruce can have that one. I just need a paper.
You need a
one.
copy?
I need a paper one. Bruce.
Okay.
I need the $50.
Oh, good.
And I got $100 to bring that in for him.
Damn.
I'm just gonna give away $50.
Runs through mine and they'll eventually get it.
You help spelling that?
JONES.
I'm sorry? Yeah. Pen, please.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
You're up.
Okay.
Thank you. It was 50. I thought you heard say 50 cents.
Oh, no, 50 cents for the pen.
Well, so it's 50.
You know, it's 150 you need the form.
Two-lot subdivision for Tim Cardinal. Wanted 2 miles, right? I thought somebody said you wanted one for the town.
Yeah, I take a paper and the Mylar gets to the, goes to the county.
You can keep one of the milers if you want.
I don't really have.
You don't have any place to store them. I thought they said they wanted one for the town.
We're looking at the form, I'm gonna start to.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Yes.
we have another, there's another subdivision. Subdivision proposed 2-lot subdivision for Tim Cardinal.
Yeah.
Tim Cardinal, his street address is 1195 State Road 4, Whitehall, Town of Hampton.
Yeah.
His phone number here Agent is Michael Montana.
It's me.
At Darrow Land Surveying, 59 Lake Luzerne Avenue, or Lake Luzerne, New York. Owner's name is Tim Cardinal, 1195 State Route 4, Whitehall, New York. Owner wants to divide 5.92 acre parcel into two lots, 4.02 acres and 1.9 acres. The property location is 1195 State Route 4. Tax map number is 45 Block 1, Section 45 Block 1, Lot 9, residential property use. The description is such: the parcel is open and wood, fairly flat land with no wetlands. It has a residence in the barn and utility line running across the property. Character is farmland and woods. At this point, no development is planned. Size of subdivision is 5.92 acres. The total number of lots is 2. The largest lot is 4.02 acres. It's got to be on easements. Apparently there are none. The previous town determination made regarding this property, no. Applicant Sampson Cardinal. At this stage, start construction is not applicable. Finished is not applicable. Both subdivision will contain 0 feet of new road. The sky provisions for water, sewer, and electric. There's existing electric and telephone. So then it'd be well and septic, right?
We don't need, he's not gonna do anything right now. He just wants to sell the property and keep a piece for himself.
Okay.
He's in South Carolina or something.
Okay. So describing anticipated impacts and services, none. Describing anticipated impacts on adjoining property, none. There are no other approvals needed. I will start the form about that. 3, is this consigned?
I don't know, did you get a signature from Tim to act as his agent?
Yes, yeah, it should be at the last. There's a couple of different ones here to sign here.
Oh. Did you just stick that sticker in
I did.
there? Oh, okay.
The one that I sent you was just a PDF.
Okay, yep. He's got this one.
Okay, that's the one I just handed you.
Okay, moving on to short environmental assessment form. Before that, any questions?
No.
On the,
Andrea hasn't seen it yet. Can we take a paper one?
there you go.
So you're not gonna be happy to deal.
All right, let's start with environmental assessment form. Manufactured project is 2 lot minor subdivision. Project location 1195 State Route 4. One wants to subdivide 5.9 acre parcel of 2 lots, 4.02 acres and 1.90 acres. Gives the contact name of the sponsor and a telephone, your telephone number. 798-4692.
Yes, yep.
Address, okay, and his email address is there. Proposed action only involving legislation. Adoption of a plan, local law ordinance, and administrative rule regulation, no. Does the proposed action require permit, approval, or funding from any government agency? No. Total acres is 5.9. There will be no physical disturbing of the property. Total acres is still 5.9. Check all land uses that occur on or adjoining to the nearest or near the proposed action: forest, rural, agricultural, residential. Those are the 4 marks. Is a permitted use of the zoning regulation, precedent is that MA, we have no zoning amendment. Is it consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan? Not applicable since you don't have one. Is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built and natural landscape? Yes. Is the site of the proposed action located in or does it join a state listed critical environmental area? No. Would the proposed action result in substantial increase in traffic above present levels? No. Are public transportation services available at or near the site of proposed action? No. Are any pedestrian accommodations or bicycle routes available on or near the site of proposed action? No. Does the proposed action meet or exceed state energy code requirements? No.
I didn't know exactly what that meant.
Actually, the answer is correct answer is no. Or some places have energy code requirements. We don't.
No, I didn't
They're
figure.
mostly cities and
Right, yeah.
larger counties. Proposed action connect to existing public-private water supply, no. Proposed action connect to existing wastewater utilities, no. Does the proposed site contain or is it substantially contiguous to a building, archaeological site or district which is listed on the National or State Historic places or that has been determined by the Commission of New York State Office of Public Parks, Recreation, Historic Preservation, built with listing in the State Registry of Historic Places, no. Is a project site or any portion of it located in or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites? New York State Historical Preservation Office, SHPO archaeological site inventory, no. Does any portion of the site of proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action containing wetlands or other water bodies regulated by a federal, state, or local agency? No. Will the proposed action physically alter or encroach into any existing wetland or water bodies? No. Identify typical habitat types that occur on or are likely to be found in the project site. Check all that apply. Forest, agriculture, and grasslands. To the site of proposed action. Contain any species of animal or associated habitats listed by the state or federal government as threatened or endangered? Sasquatch is up there, isn't it? No. Is the project site located in 100-year floodplain? No. Proposed action creates stormwater discharge either from point or non-point surfaces? No. Stormwater discharge is flowed to adjacent properties? No. Will stormwater discharge be directed to established conveyance systems, runoff and storm drains? No. Does the proposed action include construction of other activities that would result in the impoundment of water or other liquids, e.g. retention pond, waste, lagoon, dam? No. At the site of proposed action, adjoining property at a location of an active closed solid waste management facility? No. At the site of proposed action or adjoining property been the subject of remediation, ongoing or completed for wet hazard waste? No. Is the full application signed? You also have a small map. Yeah. That's it. Okay, the fun one.
You can see.
Oh, okay.
Proposed action create a material conflict in that land use planning or zoning? No. Proposed action result in change in use of intensive use of land? No. Proposed action impair the character or fall of the existing community? No. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics caused and status for the critical environmental area? No. Will the proposed action result in adverse change in existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure in that tangent? No. Proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation? No. Proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies? No. Public-private water wastewater treatment facility? No. Proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, and aesthetic resources? No. Result in first change to natural resources, e.g. wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, fauna? No. Proposed action result in increase in potential erosion, flooding, or drainage? No. Proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources? No. No. We had no moderate or large impact, so that is an A. Reading the same two questions, check this box if you determine basic information analysis above. Any supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. That's the correct box to check. Town of Hampton is lead agency. Twenty-one.
Did he send Bruce's?
Oh. That's on Bruce's, yeah. Okay. Next student. You can have these at home.
Was it, I thought it was 25.
No, that was yesterday.
No, yesterday. What do you mean?
Don't care, the second meeting tonight, I was moving, I only hit 75.
Yeah, I thought it was 50 or 25.
Nope.
I only got 25. All right.
You send me a check?
Yeah, I got 30, 35. I can send you the rest
Sure,
in a check.
I'll take that as a deposit.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now, you don't sign the paper copies at all?
No, they
Just the
usually-
Mylar, I'll make copies of it.
The Mylar is the one that usually gets filed at the. select
Right, oh,
board.
yeah, yep,
Yep,
but, and you don't want the Mylar?
nope,
Okay.
I need the
Some
paper.
some towns do.
Yeah, no. We don't have, we'll have enough.
You don't have any place to keep them.
Nope. So it's, you want the address to send the check to?
I have it,
Okay. So Hampton Town Clerk?
Yeah.
You make it up?
okay.
and I have your phone number.
Right, oh, no, we need a resolution.
Oh, I'll make
Oh.
a
Resolution,
resolution.
keep it secret.
I'll make
Motion
a
by
resolution.
Tammy, do I have a second?
Listen.
Linda, any further discussion? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. I now need a resolution to approve the subdivision as monitored by the board.
I'll make a resolution.
Resolution by Tammy, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Andrea. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I,
Carries, thank you. All right,
All set?
All set.
Very good. I got a question. That background is not, how do you get that background out there? The pine tree.
whatever it was.
That
Oh, yeah?
is, I got one that I use. on
I'd
my
like to know how to do that.
iPad. There's under stop video, there's a place that says add virtual background,
Oh,
and it gives you a few choices, or you can upload.
anything you want. put
This
it in.
is from Haystack Mountain.
Huh,
On one side, the one I have on there is an eagle that we caught on the farm, we caught a picture of the farm over there, professional photographer caught a snow eagle. It's a
no.
beautiful Picture,
oh,
so use that one,
huh,
so
we'll look into that.
then they don't know where I am. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Control Officer, nothing to report. Tax collector, you're getting ready, aren't you?
I'm getting ready, I'm waiting for that, you know, we want to build things.
Planning board report,
The planning board met in its regular meeting on October 13th. We discussed the rewriting of the mobile home law, which will now become a manufactured home law. And I reread that whole law, tried to figure out how to amend it, decided that wasn't gonna happen. So what we're gonna do is rewrite the whole law that will now be manufactured home law. And try to get it to you to your next meeting, but it'll probably be the December meeting. So then the one we have now will have to be repealed and the new one will have to be voted on. And I got some more information from John Graham and I sent him another email. Because the way this is any mobile home manufactured after June 15th, 1976 is considered a manufactured home. Then I sent an email to Dave and said, do we have any mobile homes in this town that were built before that date? And then I asked John Graham how we put them in to this law. And if someone wants to bring one into this town, that then is that old before that. And then the other issue was tiny houses. And he didn't really have any good description for that. So we're gonna figure out what we do with that. But anyway, all they've done is as of June of 2020, decided to redo everything that after 1976, everything is basically a manufactured home. So why they just don't consider them all just like a stick-built home and just be done with it, I have no idea. I did check with Whitehall, Granville, what's the other one? Nobody's rewritten theirs.
Mhm.
So there wasn't anything to see how they put this verbiage together, but I just decided, since this is supposedly a requirement, we're gonna get it done, and that's the way we're gonna do it. So, and then we did have a mobile home park law. They are now manufactured home parks, which to me is nothing but housing development.
Mhm.
But, so I don't even know if we should have one of those. We're gonna discuss that. We haven't gotten that far. Because we may have to do the same thing. So anyway, and that was all done because of this whole housing issue for lower income, cheaper housing for people, especially in the city areas and suburbs and whatever. So anyway, that's where that's at. In the meantime, we did have a meeting last night with a group of the people from the farming community, and that was a really good meeting, I think. Big
It was
things.
very well. It went very well.
There were a lot of people and a lot of discussion, and basically it was to get an introduction from these farmers so that we had some idea of what they do, what they grow, and then discuss things that were the strengths of Hampton as an agricultural community, the activities that go on in this area that have to do with farming, weaknesses, challenges, things that are difficult for the people that are in farming. And then really looking at what opportunities there might be out there to expand farming in this town. Then we didn't get too much into a discussion at all about the future of agriculture in Hampton, but it gave us a point to start with of knowing what is out here now. And we want to do one more survey, which will be, there's people in town now that aren't farming their own land, but they're leasing their own land to other people to do farming. We really need to quantify what all those are, how much acreage they have, especially up on Carl Spardella's, which the gentleman up there is growing a lot of soybeans along with some in Vermont, and has expanded those fields there, and just kind of keep working this at this point. So we are going to have a steering committee that will be members of the planning board, and we're going to add 2 of the people from the farming community onto that group. So we always have somebody else we can be bouncing things off of, and keep working on this to be able to put this plan together. But this is a long-term thing. So it was nice to see that we got such a good response from everybody, because I was really concerned that wouldn't happen. And they all had a good time, and all were talking and seemed to get along fine. So we're gonna have a report, Becky, that will be the whole thing. Jimmy's gonna write it, and then I'll get it to you so it can be for these people in their packet.
Okay.
Next meeting.
Sure.
And then-
I just have one question about the mobile home thing. Is that something our town attorney has to rewrite?
Oh, yeah, no, he's got it has to all go through him.
Oh, okay, okay,
And then he sends back all the corrections and all the
Okay.
things. And
okay.
that's why it's gonna take a while. I doubt we could have it done for this month.
So right now, if somebody walked in here and they want to put a mobile home, I mean, do I give them a mobile home application? I don't know if.
I didn't make this new law, and I don't know how it,
Well, until something else is in
Right, you
play.
have to, you have
It's
to
a lot of
operate,
places that follow the same law.
you have to, operate under
Yes,
the
yes,
existing law.
Okay,
We have existing law.
Yeah.
that's it.
okay, has nothing. to do with
yeah, I
that.
didn't know how the state views that. I'm not an attorney, so I didn't know if our ones.
Gives a chance to collect more money before it goes away.
Well, that's all right. I mean, something should be in place until the new one's in place.
Yeah. I think in place and just do this, follow the law.
Okay. I said, I always wish I'd gone to law school.
Start-
Life would be
start
easier.
next year.
Well, thank you. So that's all my report is.
Okay. Any questions for Brian? Herb? Are you still over there?
I'm here.
I can't see you through, there you go, thank you very much. I'll move forward.
The Manifest ditching and brush cutting on Manchester and Chapman Road. We had paved sections of Manchester and Chapman Road. We're filling the roadside with new blacktop, with a mix of stone and dust. Someone has stolen the Hickey Road sign at the County Route 18 intersection. I have called county for a replacement sign, and they took the post and all. So they couldn't get the sign, they yanked everything. The rear tires in the 2012 Dodge need to be replaced. They're in the warning section of the tread gauge. Hampton Motors fixed the rear brakes on the utility truck. And we have hauled in the rest of the winter sand we needed and have it all piled up, all set, ready to go. That's it.
Okay. Any questions for her? We paved more roads than we paved in the entire town,
And
towns that are around.
they did a great job. Tyler built this little unit, goes off the side of his truck for doing the roadside, you just drive along and dump it down there, and just kind of rake it down and pack it down to the one side. You got one more day to work, and that'll be all done.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Tyler? Yeah, now
No,
he's got, now he's only got.
I heard, we got Tyler in January. Yeah.
Okay, Herb. I was gonna say, I only got another 2 meetings left.
Oh, I got you closing on the books.
Yeah, 3.
Can I come to that one too, please?
Yeah.
I don't know. You better check the books out before you come. Okay, we're done. Thanks, sir. Supervisor's report, please review the supervisor's report. Moving on to county budget. The county budget looks like it's going to be pretty flat this year. We were fortunate that we were able to increase paving, but with the stimulus funds, we were able to replace the capital funds that came out of the budget, put in for capital funds with the stimulus funds. So we are going to start replacing the highway bonds for the county. They're all pretty well run down. It's not cost effective to replace them because some are very small, some are fall apart. And so we've actually used $5 million of our stimulus fund to replace those. So that's a relief to the taxpayers in terms of that. So that was exciting. I did see that the Senate passed a bill that says that monies that we have from ARPA and stimulus funds are supposedly going to be unrestricted. It's passed the Senate, it's most likely to pass the House. So restrictions on what we can and can't use money for will be pretty well gone. I think we've already dedicated this year's function. I think that we talked about using the second part to replace the pump stations down there, diesel fuel and gas, and put in there because one of these days, state or OSHA's going to walk in and say, you're out of compliance, you got to repair those. It's probably going to be $40,000 or $45,000 to replace those. We'll probably just take the rest of the ARPA funds we have available. So that's the status on that. Any questions on the supervisory report? I'll take a motion to approve the supervisory report.
I'll make motion.
Motion by Andrea, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mike. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, preliminary budget. We're in the preliminary budget. Tim, we had some more information come in that we need to consider in the budget before we go much further. I think that, and looking at the unexpended balance, it's going to be a little less available. We had budgeted $30,000. There's some additional expenses in September to put there. So it looks like that number is going to fall from $30,000 to $25,000. So that's the first thing we need to adjust in the budget, using $25,000 of the unexpended.
I think it should be 20, I don't think anyway, about 25 left, because that's not considering any bills except for fuel for the next 2 months. That's just not realistic, and we'll have repairs and, just odds and ends that are gonna come up, so I think 25 is cutting it way too close.
So 10K
Yeah,
less than what we're expecting.
the warrant for highway this month is over $137,000. Way more than I had anticipated.
I think we needed something more in paving than we anticipated. Last minute call. We'll see. So that's where that stands. I don't know of any other adjustments. You can. You need to be big.
There's nothing, general is pretty straightforward, there's nothing to take out of general, the highways, and other than Lauren, which put in capital reserve, there's nowhere else to take $10,000.
Yeah.
But if you add $10,000, it's gonna raise up over 10%.
We'll raise it to 11%, 11.09%.
What do you expect for a November check?
5,500. That's general, I'm not in highway, general is outside. This is the highway.
Dave said it moves to 11.105.
09.
Well,
November, we should do the big one.
yeah.
So we got 8,000. 8,700 on the early one.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly. I haven't seen it. Could be coming.
We won't have that till in
November.
November, we won't know the figures. Herb, what are your comments? We have three choices. Well, we have more than three choices, but three major choices I see. Is that we went through it last time. We were really hoping we'd have more left in extended balance, but we did cut back some of the requests. That requests that are very well justified, cost expenses, fuel, everything's gone up. Now it's control over that, equipment is wearing out. We get pretty close to the top on what we've done for this year in terms of sand, gravel, everything else. That's the first thing. And second, we can look to work with the highway to see if there's some areas we can shave some more money. Other things, it's not a happy case, but
Well, we were trying to increase the highway department, what, 32,000, is that what the number was?
so,
That's not what it was, we were trying to.
yeah, it was, where's my notes here?
I think that's what it was.
I think we looked at, well, they originally requested $150,000 in reserves, we cut that back to 35. This will be down here. They had originally, you have that number? Oh, 60, between the net between the highway and general, because the highway superintendent salary came out of general and went into the highway fund. So the net was 41,000, actually less, about a little more than $40,000 that they were looking to increase based on their experience.
So, I mean, we gotta find 10 grand someplace. I guess it doesn't have to be a highway department, we gotta find it someplace.
You're not gonna find the general. Generals to the bone.
Yeah, with. Yeah. I would agree.
There is the highway coming out, we reduced. There's two things that affect, we took the highway superintendent salary out. The second thing was the $8,000 of reval. That also came out of general fund. Total general was on $54,000. Ken, do you have any areas where that
Or what?
in the general fund that increased or decreased?
Just right, the last column of your budget will tell you the increase and decrease. You get a little more from county taxes.
Yeah, we got boost some county taxes. Sales tax number went up like 4 or 5,000. So, So when we originally looked at, without the $10,000, the tax rate would have been $4.53, down from $4, no, $4.82, $4.90 last year. One of the biggest areas, two biggest areas of benefit from a reduction in the fire district number 1, fire district number 2. It was 82 cents for fire district 1 last year, this year it's 70 cents. And fire district 2, I believe, is 54 cents last year, it's down to 47%, so there are some savings there in terms of the tax rate, so. I mean, if people can find something general fund, we can talk about it, but the only extra money there, this isn't even extra money.
Didn't we put $2,400 more to the fire department for the,
That wasn't taken out of the budget, that was already in the budget.
it was already in the budget, so just reallocated it.
So reallocate it from ambulance services to.
Because
the first responder
we're gonna
program.
still fund that now, but we're gonna use the COVID money.
You know, we're using the COVID money to buy the defibrillator.
Right, and that's what they were gonna use that money for, probably, if we just gave it to them.
Right,
Mostly it was for equipment, I'm just wondering if we could offset. If we're, when we know it was 20, we don't know what it was, $2,400, so if we,
2,800 it was.
it 28? Because I mean, it doesn't matter how we get them, the equipment, we just need to get the equipment, if we can use the federal grants for one, which we're going to use some of that, right? You don't know what the defibrillators and talk about, the like 14, 1600, something like that.
I think the only expectation didn't go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of it. We're still $10,000. Oh, you're right, that was already in the budget. I guess I thought that was bad. It wasn't.
We paid the defibrillator out of the COVID funds.
Right.
The only thing we increased was the garage.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be probably not increasing enough for the price of fuel, everything, so probably that's gonna be not enough raise anyway, so that's really the only other increases are like on raises for the elected officials, so.
So it'll have to come out of the highway. The biggest,
Where do we take it out? I mean, still facing the same thing. Oil costs going up, diesel costs going up, diesel went up substantially. There's big increase. That's part of what's throwing us off on what we have for unexpended balance. Is use on that. And we can start right down highway appropriations. General repairs was the biggest increase of $28,000. But that is a shift, part of that, 13,000 is shift, so from general fund over, so that was increasing salaries by 15,000. Personal services or potential expenses for general repairs, this year in our 2021 budget to date, we spent $76,000. They requested 60. So we budgeted $50,000. So we've already taken that down 10,000. Realization contractual expenses were with the 25,000, 40 some odd thousand was the box on the tandem. It was going to replace. But we have aging equipment. So that line went down by 26,000. And capital outlay for paving, we increased last year, I think we put 23 in last year. We're looking at a paving done, the cost of paving increasing, we increased that by 7,000 to 30,000, so there's 7,000. You can consider. Machinery equipment. Again, we had to make an adjustment of $25,000. We requested $40,000, but $10,000 that is to pay for the lease on the Doosan loader. We reduced that last time by $35,000. Miscellaneous brush and weeds is up to $800. Snow removal. So Kim, the gas and oil comes out of snow removal, where's it come out of? The diesel fuel.
That often does one.
So it was 55,000 last year. Budget officer tended was requesting the highway department is $5,000. $60,000. If anything, with the diesel price going up, we were probably going to be pushing on that. So those are the only areas. You can't take out employee benefits. Interfund transfers, the only thing we have there is, what's this one? 35,000 capital fund project. We requested 50. We took it down to 35, which increases that by $10,000. You know my feelings on putting money away for equipment.
So if I give you 5,000 out of the snow removal and hoping peach biting this year.
That's not gonna happen.
5,000. I mean, those the only two places that really you can look at is the snow removal and the machinery, took the CD. I mean, bring each one of them down 5,000.
If you take anything more away from snow removal,
Yeah,
snow
I know.
removal,
I
you're
know.
not gonna have anything to move.
Why do we do the, why was there such a big jump on the capital outlay? Is that just paid?
No, that's all paid. But in previous years, we have not put all the money in. So if you go to highway revenues,
Well, obviously, that's the biggest.
the highway revenues, we have three sources of funds.
Yeah.
We have CHIPS, we have Pave New York, and we have extreme weather. Last year, there was a question whether we're gonna have extreme weather and Pave New York. So we didn't put it all in. They have increased the CHIPS money, they have increased by about $14,000 for CHIPS.
Yeah.
They increased extreme weather by, no, I'm going by last year, because next year probably the
We
same.
have left over too.
They increased Pave New York by 9,000 and the other one by 5,000, so that really is the only additional monies that. Because when we look at, when we paid 15,000, I think the bill was $15,000 just to bring equipment in,
That's just for the man and equipment.
rent equipment.
So we had 116,000 and I think the bill came to 118, that was 104 and then another 14, so it came to 118,000.
So,
So you're saying for actual, even though we budgeted 75,000. Your actuals for last year were about 116.
But that was a lot of it's chip. We got a lot of in chip.
this was,
So we get some of that back.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
get
not all of it back. Because that was
right, when we take it, yeah, 119, we get it back, we had that accounted for in our revenues. We will get $85,000 from Consolidated Highway. And then they were looking to, which is an increase of 32,000 from last year.
Right.
Last year, we contributed 20, started contributing. We started, where was it? I think we contributed $25,000 to pay them. This year, they asked for up to 30.
And so I guess I didn't ask that question. So you're anticipating that we'll need every bit of that 41,000. That's not going down, you're saying?
Not going down.
No.
Lenny, when you and I were talking the other day, what were you saying? Like, I told you, I thought it went up around 8, and you said something with the assessment. If we went up 12, our taxes should stay about the
Well,
same.
the rate's going down.
Right, yes.
The rate's going down.
If your assessment, your rate's going down, the rate was, that was I talked about before, I can look up
See,
the
that's
last
what you just mixed emotions to. The amount of money going up 8% to do business this year. But the rate is going down. You know,
I will tell you that in most of the towns, they have huge fund balances. And they're making adjustments, so they're facing increases, but they have the ability to take under $200,000, $300,000 out of the fund balance, especially in the highway funds, and put it in there. We don't have a fund balance, very much fund balance in highway. That's actually what our unexpended balance is that's our fund.
or you can. Once you take money out of the general. Once you put it in the highway fund, it's supposed to be there. I've heard stories about some towns that blown the highway money and then they put it back in the general, somewhere. It's not right, they ain't supposed to do it.
But we don't even have that luxury. I mean, our fund balance in general is about 25,000, 30,000, maybe you're lucky there's 35.
If everything holds together like a normal year, you're gonna end up with a $5,000 gift on mortgage tax. Anyway, it's minimal. It's usually the spring was the smallest. And prices have been higher than heck. If anybody's putting a mortgage in, there's a lot of extra cash on in that kitty. Didn't we go up 1/4% too last year, 2 years ago on the mortgage tax?
Went up 1/4%. That was 2 years ago. What happens if we cut it down too much and these expenses and inflation keeps on running up? We're back in the same boat with more. Look up exactly what the tax rate was last year. What Lenny was pointing to is that anyone who's assessing up less than 13% is to at least pay the same, if not less,
That's just like a school tax. You know?
like the school tax. What the adjustment was, and a lot of the adjustments were made, like I was saying, was there's people that put, built houses or built buildings and never got building permits, so they never got into the assessment. That's why we really have to, no matter what we do this year, we have to make sure that we keep those assessments up every single year. It's fine this year. 2021 county tax rates. That's what I want. Hampton last year. Was 472. Based on that, if we keep up with, without making any further adjustments. Tax rate still falls by 19 cents a thousand. I meant to look at this.
If they hit the double digits raise, right? Yeah.
479. Our fire protection rate for number one was 80 cents last year, it's 70 cents this year. Fire protection rate for number two was 54. And this year it goes down to 47, so. As I pointed out, we probably will get another 5,000. We'll probably exceed, every year we have exceeded what we have gotten from mortgage tax and second payment. So our year's been pretty good. I don't know what it'd be this year. So I'm trying to forecast that because we got people buying houses. Got people refinancing, people pushing to refinance now because the rates are gonna go up again. On the other hand, we have people buying houses paying cash. I don't know how many in Hampton, but there is in Washington County, people coming in and paying cash for houses.
Oh,
So I don't know if that's
sale going on. Well, that's a big bucks.
we don't make enough provisions, even with the cuts we got, all the reduction we had made already. What do we do if we run out of money because inflation keeps on going up?
I don't have any further questions. I don't have enough money. It is what it is.
Jim, do you have any suggestions?
I don't think there's anything that you can cut. I honestly don't. I think with the price of fuel and everything, then we're too low as it is. On a lot of things, I think you leave it and it's an 11% increase and most people won't even see a difference. That's my personal feeling, but I don't know, if that's me personally.
Well, that's what
I'm
I
not
told
much-
you last month, when we were talking about this, I told you to leave the highway department alone.
I mean, I would leave it at 11.09, most people are gonna see a slight decrease. But then there's the people that did get big raises that are gonna see a big difference, so, I mean, our assessment went up, but I don't think enough so that we'll notice the difference. But that's just one person's opinion,
There's one cautionary thing that may not affect us this year, but will probably affect us next year, is auto sales. Auto sales are almost non-existent right now because you can't get the chips. Guess where the number one by far sales tax is collected in Washington County? Is automobiles. We lose 10-15% in that, 10-15% for not 2022, 2023. As numbers, matter of fact, I just saw something about.
last year, our
Oh.
second mortgage check was less than our first. Yeah.
Normally it's a little bit less. The first one is the big one. I think there's one year where, I think it was 2 years ago, the second one went up. This is from the budget officer, he just said, used cars prices have held the automobile sales so far. The report is missing, give the next best comparison, fuel prices are making lines soar. And when we see the next quarter, that'll be a huge number, so maybe we'll have a trade-off from sales tax next year.
Right, what is gas in New York State? I know it is in Vermont, I can't imagine.
It's cheap.
I know, it always is, but
Premium is almost $4 a gallon. It's Stewart's and Granville.
that's Stewart's.
I know by premium, the ones I see are 350, 360, 275, Granville's actually lower. It's generally higher in Granville. But out in Glens Falls, Queensbury, it's higher. And down here, it's down, pardon?
I paid $303 in Rockland.
You know, well, I got gas
It's
down,
321.
I got gas down in Fulton, it's 325.
Yeah, it's the peak.
It's
In a
like
week, it
30,
went up
40%.
like. I don't know what they voted.
All right, where do we go from here?
Set the preliminary budget, we move on.
So we need a motion to make that the adopted budget.
Right, changing the 30,000 unexpended highway to 20,000,
20,000, correct?
that's the only change made.
The only change.
You have to adopt it tonight, or can you wait for one more warrant to see where next month's bills fit in?
No,
I don't know what the dates are for.
we have to adopt it by a week after election. We don't adopt it by the week after election, or 2 weeks.
Says the budget is adopted by the governing board not later than November 20th. Is that right?
You really think it's gonna make a big difference?
I don't have any clue.
So the 18th is our next meeting.
Okay,
So it says the public hearing not before the Thursday immediately following the general election, the hearing may be adjourned from day to day, but not beyond November 15th. That's the public hearing, so.
We've done the public hearing.
But it says the final budget needs to be done no later than November 20th.
well, the only thought is if you wanted to wait for Don's. But, because they were doing this.
Well, I'll know better fund balance by the 18th.
We might have an idea of the general fund balance would be a little bit higher, if we do get more. You know, I was just saying that would may help a little bit. I don't know, I mean, there's no benefit to passing a month early, I mean, if there's no benefit to do it now as opposed to next, why not wait, maybe gas prices will go down, maybe they'll double. I don't know.
These are you, something, you know, in Pennsylvania.
Just as your point that there is no benefit.
Right, it's like when early when
They
something-
don't give you much time to get completed. So I have to say,
He has to get the county. to-
No, it says it has to be adopted.
right, but I think it has to, because I know it has to go to the county, because they have to figure out their bills. And I have to send it. I think law says I have to send it so that I get a, then I can't have Dave take it over because I need that proof that we mailed it. Yeah. And we know how the mail is these days. You might get it in December. I could probably mail it in Washington, Port Edward, and they wouldn't get it on time.
When are most of your bills in, for
Most of them,
second week, but you always got the stragglers, main care, and tractor supply, which we won't want anything on that, and main care is always. I always get it like the Friday or the Monday. That when I come in Monday, it's usually in the envelope. For bills, main care, they always send it out late.
They don't leave a delivery slip. Yeah, because
The
we're
only
only,
one that do is when we get fuel oil.
okay, we're only
Put a-
supposed to pay for the delivery
We
slip.
put a slip, they put a box down there, and they used to send the slips
Yeah,
with the bills, and they don't even do that anymore.
yeah, because we're not supposed to pay from anything but a delivery slip. We're not supposed to pay from a copy of the
So
delivery
we've
slip
told the
or
guy,
a
we
receipt.
need delivery slips left there, there's clipboard down there, I'll leave them on the clipboard.
Yeah, we got audited, we'll be in trouble for that.
Oh, they won't accept the ones that the lady sent?
No, they can't be a copy, it has to be an original deposit ticket. We don't even pay them at the school, if they don't leave an original, they have
When it
to.
comes right out of the truck.
Yeah, the one that comes right off the truck. I mean, everything should be paid by an original invoice, never a
And they
photocopy.
used to send them right in the mail along with the bill, so we have them.
Yeah.
And the last one times, they haven't sent anything. And they're not down there in the clipboard, and I know the wind doesn't blow them away.
And that's a county thing, that's not a town thing, that's a city.
We'll build a steel box and put it in there, and they'll think it's a money box, and they'll.
Somebody will take that, yeah. They can have the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see things getting better, because if we get a storm in November, December, and you got fuel overtime, that's, the 20,000 isn't gonna be enough either, so I mean.
I just saw the weather forecast for supposedly December, January, February, we're gonna have.
No snow.
Warmer than normal temperatures,
Okay,
so that means ice.
If we talk about it then for sure, I think we're safe.
Yeah, I think it'll be $70.
now third, let's get a special meeting right after.
I don't think there's any need to have the bills paid if you can, I mean, if you just let us know if there's gonna be. At this point, it really is not gonna make a difference, I mean, I don't think.
I don't foresee any big bill, like I said, the only thing I foresee is salt, and I can get away with one load of salt. Mind you, we don't have 10 ice storms, but.
I mean, the worst case scenario is we have, instead of 20,000, you have $15,000 left, so you take $5,000 away from what you're gonna put in the capital reserve fund. I mean, you have to take something away if you don't have enough unexpended, so I mean, that's your worst case scenario. Better to do that than to cut the budget down low and not have the money.
Yep.
$10,000 makes such a difference.
This day and age it does.
What are we gonna do when they require us to have electric trucks? You have to have miles and miles and miles of electric cord to charge them.
Yeah.
What will we do?
If we get strapped for money in November, December. Put shift some of the bills into January. I wouldn't want to move November's bills, but I would consider it some.
Well, that doesn't make any difference, then you're taking it out of the budget, which you'll do with your unexpended balance, I enough anyway, you'll take it out, but, so it really doesn't. There's always a way of making it balance.
Just robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Right, that's, you're not solving the problem, but. You know, end up with 20,000, we've done that before, I think one year we thought we were gonna have 15, we ended up with 10, so we took 5 out of one of the accounts. Right from the beginning of the year, and maybe only what you have out.
So we know we're not gonna move anything, why don't we just accept the budget and move on?
Good idea.
Yeah, you're menacing in the crock pot.
Hungry?
I'll be right over.
I'll make a motion to accept the budget as written.
Motion by Andrea. We have a second.
I'll second the motion to accept the preliminary budget.
Any further discussion? Roll call?
Councilman Patrica,
Yes.
Councilwoman Taryn, yes,
Yeah.
No, it's
Councilwoman Stady is absent. Councilwoman Sweeney?
Yeah.
Supervisor O'Brien?
like it. Yeah. I'm not happy either.
It's like,
Well, the grading,
Garrett, we have a budget for 2022. All right, what else on the budget? I need to have a motion to override the override tax cap law.
Definitely did that.
We're way over it. So I guess we don't have a choice but to make a motion for that.
Is that a motion, Ken?
I guess so.
Do I have a second?
What choice do we have?
Second by Andrew.
Kind of stupid one. Well, we left the budget, so
All, actually, according to Ken, even went up 1%, we still have to. Go back to tax.
I know, so I mean, obviously going up 11%, we well overrode the budget. I think that should have been done in reverse order.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Patrica?
yes.
Councilwoman Taryn?
Yes.
Councilman Stady is absent. Councilwoman Sweeney?
Yes.
Supervisor O'Brien?
Moving on, public comments. I think we would bring the clock back down here. So we could all have. All right,
This is so much involved.
need a motion to audit the different audit bills.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we, pay bills.
Motion by Ken, pay bills, for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the,
Second, all in favor?
aye.
Mr. Holmes.